Now let's do the same thing using another configuration management tool, which is Chef, and it is also supported by Vagrant. So let's move back to our Vagrant file, and I'm going to comment out this part, and let's write config.vm.provision. This time I'm going to use Chef, and Chef comes in two flavors. One of them is using a central server, which of course is not available here because this is going to be applied on the machine that Vagrant installed. So it's going to be self-executed. The typical use of Chef involves having a central server from which all the machines pull their configuration. So in our case, we are going to use the first option, which is running locally. So we're going to use Chef solo for that. And again give our block as a variable, which is Chef. Don't forget the end part. And chef.add_recipe Apache. We are going to create a recipe that is called Apache, and Chef is going to use this recipe to configure the machine. So let's go back to our web server, and Chef follows a little bit of convention when it comes to playbooks, so you'll have to have a directory that is called cookbooks, like this. Now inside the cookbooks directory, we're going to create a cookbook that is called Apache, so let's create a new directory that is called Apache. Inside Apache, we are going to create two directories. One is going to be called recipes. The other one is going to be called templates. This is just a convention used by Chef to easily find the files that it needs. So we have a cookbooks directory. Inside it, we have a cookbook that is called Apache. That is how Chef pulls the recipe by name. It's called Apache. Inside Apache, we have recipes, inside which we are going to place our recipe file. It also has a number of files that help Chef do its work. We're going to discuss that later when we visit the Chef configuration tool. And the templates, where we are going to add our index.html file. So in order to create a recipe, we're going to create a file that is called default.rb for Ruby. Inside this file, we are going to write a slightly same syntax as we did with the apache.yml playbook. It's the same concept, but of course a different format or a different language. So we have a package. The package is httpd. What are we going to need with this package is to install it. So we're going to specify the package name, httpd. This is how Chef is going to run yum-y install httpd. Then we need to have a template. The template will have a destination path of /var/www/html/index.html. And the template itself is going to use some variables, or actually one variable. This can be specified like this: variables, the message, don't forget the colon, and this is called a rocket assignment, and then add whatever message you want, which is welcome to DevOps. This time let's add something to differentiate it, created by Chef. Okay, just to indicate that this is not using Ansible anymore. Then let's specify the source file. The source is index.html.erb, which is the format that Chef uses for working with templates. And the action is create, which is the default. Finally, we have the service httpd. This is going to start the Apache service and ensure that it is started whenever the system boots. Just the same thing we did with Ansible. So this is done like this: action, start, and enable. And that's it. This is our recipe or our cookbook file. And second thing we need to do is create the template. So let's create a file in templates, call it index.html.erb. Inside this file, we're going to have roughly the same content that we had in the Ansible template file. However, the way we add our variables is going to be different. So we can just take a copy. Forgot to close the HTML. That's okay. The browser won't complain. Let's take a copy of all this code and paste it here. And the only thing that's going to be changed is how the message is how the variable is being called. So instead of adding the double curly braces like this, I'm going to add an angle bracket followed by a percentage sign and an equal sign, then an @ sign, and the name of the variable, then close with a percentage sign and an angle bracket. And that is all what is needed to do the same thing using Chef. So let's go to our terminal and let's clear the screen, exit out of the machine. And if you want to change your provider from Ansible to Chef, we are going to have to destroy the machine like this. Destroy is going to bring the machine back to its default configuration. And let's now type Vagrant up. This time it is going to configure the machine while it is being created rather than post creation. Let's press enter. And notice here that it is not downloading the box again. Once it has been downloaded, it won't be downloaded again. It's going to use the one that is saved on the system. Now, it's going to take a few moments to install Chef locally on the machine. This, of course, is transparent to you as a user. Okay, and the cookbook has finished. If I just go to the browser, I'm gonna examine the machine, just have a look at the browser first. Let's refresh this page. Gonna see that, welcome to DevOps created by Chef. This means that the Chef provisioner is the one that configured the machine now to install Apache. Let's clear the screen, type Vagrant, SSH to get inside the machine again. Let's sudo systemctl status httpd. Okay, it is running. And if I cat /var www.html index.html, gonna see that I have the very same file that I used with Ansible. This time it has been configured using Chef, and the variables has been substituted for inside the locations that I configured in the title part and in the h1 part. Okay, that brings us to the end of this section. Don't worry if you had a lot of things, a lot of concepts and techniques that are completely foreign to you. Don't worry, inside this course, we are going to introduce them in more detail later. I just want you to get out of this section with a firm idea about what DevOps is, why it is being used, and how the different tools that DevOps engineers use speed up work and introduces automation as much as possible. That brings us to the end of this section. My name is Ahmed. Thank you for watching and see you next.